This is Shawala Temple in the city of Farajang, district Arak, a remarkable piece of art, centuries old and archaeological site. It's been neglected ever since the partition of India or the creation of Pakistan. I'll show you the artwork painted on the walls inside the temple in the next few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Absolutely amazing, beautiful indeed. See the level of neglect by the people and the city administration, that the premises of this ancient piece of history has become the rubbish dump, like it is nothing. If you look at the base of this temple, it is barely erected and also on the brink of fall. But who cares about the human history or the archaeology? They have destroyed many other monuments. It is just next in the list. Who should be held responsible and blamed for? The people or the city administration? Or both or none? How awful is that you are destroying something which you cannot possibly comprehend the value of it? Now the most obvious question is, why should it be saved? Other than the fact it's an archaeological site and a remarkable piece of art. Most importantly, it tells us about human history, the culture, the lifestyle, and the simplicity of the people who laid the foundation of this very city. Like it or not, it used to be their land. Therefore, it should be saved for a future generation to learn and study, and to be in contact with the history of this land. The reason people don't have loyalty and respect to their motherland is because they don't know the worth and value of the environment in which they are living in. It is time to tell them that this nothing is not just nothing. As a matter of fact, it is everything. These big majestic banyan trees and water pond besides it, their architecture is so remarkable that these water ponds were built just right exactly at the end of flowing rainy water. The reason of planting banyan trees alongside the water pond is because they need a consistent supply of water. They grow big and become majestic and live forever. But these banyan trees are not ordinary trees. Other than the fact they clean the atmosphere and provide us oxygen, they also provide a home to diversity of wildlife and birds. If one thinks, why the heck should we care about these birds? These are just birds. They will fly and live somewhere else. Let me explain it to you how it will affect us. Remember the small insects, worms and bugs produced by our human waste? These birds eat those worms and insects and keeps us away from them. When you chop off those trees or finish them by diverting the flow of water, then these birds will fly and live somewhere else. And we'll be left alone to deal with plethora of worms and insects. In our daily life, we don't realize the importance of nature and how we are connected with it. It is time to accept this inevitable fact that we, the human, cannot live without nature. Every single choice we make to destroy nature has consequences. We'll have to pay for it, sooner or later. If not us, then our future generations. On the other hand, these water ponds have been used as the main source of water for centuries, but not anymore. They are getting dry and filthy. Why? Because we have diverted the flow of rainy water with our houses and constructions. When these water ponds get dry, banyan trees will also die along with it. At the death of these banyan trees, wildlife and birds will move to some other place, and we'll be left with polluted atmosphere and dusty airs. This is supposed to be a public park, not very big, in the midst of heavy traffic, crowded by the people all the time, and without a single tree in it. I never quite understood the reason of building it here. Or perhaps it is just for show off that these politicians are doing a great work. Astonishingly, hundreds of thousands of rupees from the public welfare money have been spent on this so-called park. Hundreds of thousands of rupees from the public welfare money have been spent on this overhead walking bridge, which is currently been shut down because of the security reasons. Which leads to my next point. If it was a security concern, then why build it in the first place? The kind of traffic this city has, it needs a flyover to provide the traffic a direct passage out of the city without entering into it, which becomes the main cause of traffic later on. Punjab is an agrarian land. As you can see the vast landscape. This vast landscape is under a great danger by the housing societies. Personally, I'm not against the idea of housing societies. I'm against the idea of permanent destruction of the fertile lands. See those square boxes? These will be the houses of people. I have a request to the people of housing societies. Sir, if you're really interested in the idea of development and making people's lives better, then build new houses and towns in the rocky, rugged places. Do not destroy these fertile lands, because these fertile lands puts the food on your table. Do not take it for granted. Show some respect to the Mother Nature. This is one single playground in the whole big city, without any wall or fence, as you can see. why there isn't any wall or sports-related facilities in the ground? To be honest, this playground doesn't have the property of its own. It was allocated from the property of Hookoff in 1993 by the city assistant commissioner of that time, and it's being used as a playground ever since. Now the problem is, Hookoff wants this property back and privatize it. The future of this playground is in great jeopardy. In other words, there won't be any sports-related activities in the near foreseeable future if it's taken away, or it will be gone just like everything else. Whether it's the history, archaeological sites, vast landscape, the playground, overhead walking bridge, or the public park in the midst of heavy traffic, there are two things to be noticed. First, neglect or negligence, and second, wrongful utilization of resources. We all know that Pakistan is a very poor country and her economy is heavily relying upon the foreign debts and fundings. The thing to be kept in mind while utilization of resources is to make best of everything. Finally, protect and preserve nature. Once it's destroyed, there's no coming back. Agree, disagree, but your feedback is very important. Like, share and subscribe, and leave your feedback in the comment box below. I'll personally answer that. Thank you.